Okay, so hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be diving deep into something that I know a lot of you have probably been thinking about, and that is how to plan a trip to the
Yes.
Czech Republic. And specifically, we're going to be looking at, up to 90 days.
Right.
So kind of that short trip.
Yeah, short stay.
And for all of our listeners out there who are Indian citizens, and so this is going to be, we've looked at a lot of the official websites and stuff, and so this is our way of kind of cutting through the clutter and confusion
Absolutely.
and really giving you like a clear
More
understanding.
streamlined approach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To the Schengen visa application.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you don't want to be, getting lost in all these different websites,
Right.
and trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah. So we've done the heavy lifting for you.
That's the idea.
So basically, yeah, we're going through all the official guidelines, everything.
Trying to make it as clear as possible.
Yeah, this is your shortcut
Yeah.
to understanding this whole thing.
Yeah.
So basically what we want to do today is just make sure that you come away from this feeling like you have a solid grasp of what's required to get that Schengen visa
Absolutely.
for a short stay in the Czech Republic. And just make the whole process feel a little bit less daunting, I think.
Yeah. Less intimidating for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's unpack this. So first things first, you really want to identify the why behind your trip. Are you picturing yourself like soaking up all that amazing history in Prague?
Right.
Are you going for like a really important business event or meeting?
Yeah.
Are you maybe visiting some family and friends that you haven't seen in a while? And it might seem like a very basic thing, but defining that precise reason,
Yeah.
that why for your travel is actually really, really important
Super important.
because it actually determines which visa category you're going to need to apply under.
Exactly.
Whether you're going for tourism, business, family visit, attending a cultural festival or something like that. There's a specific visa type for each of these.
Yeah, you really want to get that one right from the get-go.
Exactly. So once you're clear on that, why you're traveling, then comes the I think it's safe to say this is the part that a lot of people kind of stress about.
Yeah.
Like gathering all those documents.
Yeah, the paperwork. It can be a bit much.
Yeah, and this is where, being super organized and paying attention to detail really pays off.
Absolutely.
So first off, you need to download, complete, and sign the Schengen visa application form. And you can usually find this on the VFS Global website.
Yeah, that's the best place to start.
And speaking of important documents, your passport is obviously right at the top of the list.
The most important.
Yeah, and there are a few key things to check. First of all, it needs to have been issued within the last 10 years.
Yeah, within the past decade.
Yep. You need to have at least 2 blank pages for those all-important entry and exit stamps.
Yeah, you don't want to run out of space.
No. And this is really important. It needs to be valid.
Yeah.
For at least 3 months.
Yeah.
Beyond your planned departure date.
Yeah.
From the Schengen area.
The entire Schengen area.
The entire Schengen area. Yeah.
Not just the Czech Republic.
Exactly.
But anywhere you might be traveling within that zone.
Yeah, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they're very clear about this.
They are.
Validity requirement. And it's not just like a bureaucratic hurdle.
Right.
It's really there as a safety net in case of any unexpected travel disruptions.
Yeah. What if there are flight delays?
Exactly.
Or you decide to take a spontaneous side trip?
Yeah, you don't want to end up with an expired passport.
Stuck.
Yeah, stuck.
In Europe.
Somewhere. Okay, so along with your passport, you'll also need 2 recent passport-size color photographs. And these need to have a plain white background. And VFS Global usually have very specific guidelines about these photos, so double check those.
Definitely worth a look.
And then we come to the cover letter. And I know some people might think of this as just like another form to fill out.
Just another box to tick.
Yeah. But it's actually a really good opportunity to clearly state the purpose of your trip.
Yeah, in your own words.
Yeah. And just give a brief overview of your intended travel plans.
Just paint a quick picture.
Yeah. And don't forget to sign it.
Oh, yes, that's essential.
Yeah, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they point that out.
Yeah.
Specifically. So then you've got the travel itinerary itself.
Right, and the detailed plan.
Yeah, and this needs to be pretty detailed. So you'll need to provide evidence of your planned travel, which includes your flight bookings, obviously.
Of course, both inbound and outbound.
Yeah, so both your arrival into the Schengen area and your departure. And then if you're planning to visit any other countries,
Yeah, if you're hopping around.
yeah, while you're in the Schengen zone, you'll also need to include any onward travel arrangements.
Train tickets, bus tickets, anything like that.
Yeah. And again, both VFS Global and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they emphasize that you need to include those specifics. So think of it as like painting a really clear picture.
Yeah, a visual representation of your trip.
Yeah, of your movements.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, you also need to show where you plan to stay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, during your time in the Czech Republic. So acceptable proof of accommodation. This can include confirmed hotel reservations, rental agreements.
Yeah, if you're going for an Airbnb or something like that.
Yeah. Or if you're staying with family or friends, a formal invitation letter from your host.
Right, an official one.
Yeah. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they outline all of these as valid forms of proof.
They do.
Okay, so another really important thing is you need to show that you have sufficient financial resources.
Yeah, you can support yourself.
Yeah, to support yourself
while you're there
throughout your stay. So this usually involves providing your personal bank statements from the last 3 months.
Recent ones.
Yeah, and these statements, they should clearly show the bank's official stamp and signature.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, VFS Global is going to be looking at these to basically make sure that you have their means to cover your expenses and that you're not going to need to rely on public funds.
Right, you're not going to be a burden.
Right. Okay, so now if you're currently employed, you're also going to need a letter directly from your employer.
From your company.
Yeah, and this letter should clearly state your start date at the company.
When you join.
Yeah, your current job title or position and your salary level.
Shows you're gainfully employed.
Exactly. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they specify all these details.
They do. It's all laid out.
And if you happen to be a business owner, you'll need to provide a copy of the official commercial registry for your business, along with a certified English translation.
Proof that you're running the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's a really, really important one. Travel medical insurance.
Ah, yes.
This is non-negotiable.
Absolutely essential.
You have to have valid travel medical insurance. That covers medical expenses and repatriation costs, up to at least 30,000 euro.
That's the minimum.
Yeah, and this insurance needs to be valid across the entire Schengen area.
Correct.
For the entire duration of your trip.
The whole time you're there.
Yeah. And VFS Global can actually provide you with a list of approved insurance providers.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, and tell you kind of like the required levels of coverage and stuff.
So you know you're getting the right one.
Yeah. Okay, so the last thing in terms of documents is just to remember that depending on the reason for your trip.
The specific reason.
Yeah. There might be some additional documents you need to provide. So, for example, if you're going to a conference, you might need to include proof of your registration.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or if you're visiting family. The invitation letter might need to be accompanied by copies of your host's passport or residence permit.
Proving they can host you.
Yeah. So it's always best to just check the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website.
Yeah, they have the most up-to-date information.
Yeah, they'll have the most up-to-date information on any of those supplementary requirements.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you've got all your documents.
You're all set.
You've been super organized. What comes next?
The next step is scheduling your appointment.
Right.
And it's super important to know that if you're in India, you'll need to submit your visa application in person at a VFS Global Visa Application Center.
Okay, and here's a little tip. We found out that new appointment slots for the upcoming month are usually released every other Monday.
Oh, that's a good one to know.
Yeah, so if you've got a trip in mind, it's a good idea to keep an eye out for those Monday releases.
Right.
And you can find that information on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website. It's worth being proactive about this because those appointment slots can fill up really quickly.
Oh, yeah, especially during those peak seasons.
Yeah, okay, so once you've successfully scheduled your appointment, then the next step is pretty straightforward. You just need to attend your appointment.
Right, show up.
At the VFS Global Center that you selected, and make sure you take all those documents.
All of them.
All of them.
The whole stack.
Yeah, all those meticulously prepared documents with you. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they emphasize this.
Yeah.
That you need to go there in person.
Yeah, no online submissions.
Right. Okay, so when you go to your appointment, you're also going to need to pay the applicable visa fee.
Right.
And the exact amount of this can change.
They can fluctuate.
Yeah. So it's always best to check the most up-to-date information on the VFS Global website.
Double check.
Yeah, right before you go. Okay, and then another part of this whole process is that you're going to have to provide your biometric data, which usually involves a digital scan of your fingerprints.
Right.
But just so you know,
Yeah.
children under the age of 12, they are exempt.
Oh, okay, so they don't have to do the fingerprints.
Yeah, they don't have to do the fingerprints. Okay, so no, this is the question that's probably on everyone's mind right now.
Yeah.
How long is this all going to take?
How long do I have to wait?
Yeah. So in general.
Yeah.
You can expect your visa application to be processed within about 15 calendar days.
Okay, so a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But, and this is really important to keep in mind, that 15-day time frame, it's just a guideline.
Right.
It's not set in stone.
Right.
So in some situations, the processing can take a little bit longer.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, and this could be because maybe there's a higher volume of application.
Especially during peak travel times.
Maybe there's something a little bit more complex
Yeah.
about your specific application.
Right. Some unique circumstances.
Yeah. So once a decision has been made on your visa application, you'll get a notification directly from the VFS Global Center.
Okay, so they'll contact you.
Yeah, letting you know that your passport is ready for collection. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they confirm that this is how they notify people. Okay, so before we wrap things up, let's just reiterate a couple of really key points. First and foremost, and I cannot stress this enough, double check, triple check, that all of your documents are complete and accurate. They're exactly as required.
No missing pages.
No missing pages.
No typos.
No typos.
Everything needs to be perfect.
Yeah, because any missing information or inconsistencies, they can really lead to delays.
Oh, yeah, they can really hold things up.
And it can be really frustrating. Okay, and then the other thing is to just think ahead. When it comes to timing,
Right.
so you can actually submit your application as early as 6 months before your intended travel date.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
but no later than 15 days.
Yeah.
For your trip.
So you've got a pretty wide window there.
Yeah, you got a pretty big window. So this just allows enough time for processing without having to stress.
Without those last-minute panics.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's just quickly summarize the core steps here.
Yeah, just to recap.
Yeah. So number one, you need to identify the correct visa type based on the purpose of your trip. Number two, you need to meticulously prepare all the required documentation.
All those papers.
Yeah. Number three, schedule your appointment at a VFS Global Center. Number four, attend that appointment and submit your complete application.
In person.
In person, yeah. Number five, pay the visa fee. Number six, provide your biometric data if it's required.
Right.
And then finally, just be patient.
Yeah.
Allow for that processing time.
It was usually about 15 days.
Yeah, usually about 15 days. So yeah, I mean, our whole goal with this deep dive was to give you, our listeners, a really clear and comprehensive understanding of this process and hopefully make it feel a little bit less overwhelming.
Yeah, take away some of that stress.
Yeah. So we really hope that you've come away from this feeling like you have the knowledge and the confidence to successfully navigate this Schengen visa application for your short trip to the Czech Republic. And, you know, this actually brings up a really interesting thought
Oh, yeah.
for you to think about. So now that you kind of have a better grasp of these steps and the preparation that's involved, what kind of experience are you envisioning for your trip to the Czech Republic?
Yeah. What are you picturing?
Yeah, are you wandering through Prague Castle? Are you preparing for a business negotiation?
Yeah.
Are you reconnecting with family
Right.
in a charming Czech town? I mean, the possibilities are really endless. But understanding these visa requirements, it's really that first step
Yeah, the foundation.
to make that vision a reality.
Absolutely. So get that visa sorted.
Yeah,
And then the real fun begins.
exactly.
Planning the actual trip.